Welcome to episode 17 of AskMiko, sex, sports, and everything in between. I am Miko Grimes. I got my wig back on this week because I was being lazy about my hair. But what's not lazy is the tea and the fun I'm about to give you right now. I have been reunited with my radio husband, Omar Kelly. Welcome back.
I don't even recognize you with the hair. I'm
Yeah,
like,
do you like that?
I don't like fake hair, but that I like your natural journey. That's your
Yes.
natural journey is I'm very proud of you for that.
Thank you. The natural hair is bomb, but this is late night, caught me slipping. And I do like that I have this wig that I can just throw on whenever I need to get cute quickly. But I'm so excited to talk sports with you again. How you been?
I'm good. I can't complain.
Can't complain. All right. All right. So we have a lot of things to cover today. We're not going to go crazy, but we definitely got to talk about some NFL interesting situations that are happening in the final quarter of the season. And then we've got a little bit of NBA drama that we need to discuss as well. But before we get to that, you know what I want to talk about because you told me that you addressed the situation with Brandon Marshall on your podcast. So I scurried on over there to check it out. And the shit was like 2.5 minutes, Omar.
Maybe three, four. I didn't give it that much energy, but I really felt inspired by Fred Taylor speaking on behalf of a lot of the people who have been left in the wake of Brandon Marshall's warpath to destroy his once respected brand of I Am Athlete. Um, if you haven't paid attention to what that product is now, pretty much that product is just Brandon Marshall because everybody has abandoned him or he has abandoned everybody else. It's just a shell of what it once was. Once was a very proud brand, once was a very respected brand, and now it's pretty much nothing. And it's just sad to see, but nobody can blame anybody but Brandon.
Yeah. So what I hear a lot of people talking about in the media is like the celebrities, the famous retired athletes that, were hurt, were harmed, fired, cut, whatever you want to call it. But there were some other catastrophes and collateral damage, and people like yourself who aren't a multimillionaire who can't just simply bounce back from his fuck ups. So I need more details. I was there. I know what happened. I did the radio show for one day.
Hmm.
How was my radio appearance, Omar?
Huh? What'd you say?
How was my radio appearance on IMAX?
Your radio appearance wasn't bad. It was good. I think uh, it everything was just so fraudulent about that experience.
So what
Just
you have to say? What happened? You quit your job to
mhm,
go support this black brand,
mhm.
and you and I talked in detail, thorough detail, damn near every day about whether or not you should make this decision to quit and go and work with I Am Athlete. You and Brandon had a long relationship, a very good history, a friendship, a brotherhood is what I would call it. And how did it, so what, give us some details of your position there
Mhm.
and how it all turned out at the end. Like give me something because you ain't give nothing on the other show. I need more.
Okay. Well, I was hired to be a producer of not just the I Am Athlete, the flagship show, but also of a daily radio show. They had a partnership with Sirius, and also on air talent. But from the minute we got there, or I got there, it felt like Brandon was intentionally sabotaging his own product with decisions that he made, partnerships that he just ruined, pretty much ran Ocho Cinco off, and to the point where they have this reputation, bad business Brandon, and I could tell you that couldn't be any any more real, just because of all, part of my job, or I felt like my job, and he resented this, was to make business partners basically not run away from the brand or run away from I Am Athlete because of just the bad business practices that we had at the time. And it wasn't a we situation, it was really just a Brandon situation. Anytime that he could do something to sabotage his own product, or because he liked chaos, or because he felt he functioned best in the chaos, he would just poison the situation, whether it be a business relationship, whether it be a sponsorship deal. I remember there was a time we had a sponsorship deal with Celsius, uh, the energy drink, and it's literally at the table, and we have to have it positioned at the
Mhm.
table, a certain way, so
Right,
that the brand would be seen within the shot. And
right,
I'm telling you, this is a $500,000 deal. We have to hit a certain amount of shows where it's on the table.
right.
And this guy, before we doing the shoot, is walking around, picking up the Celsius off the table, like,
Why?
and just because he didn't like it there. I'm like,
What do you
okay,
mean?
it's
It
cool.
has to be in the shot. So what did he want?
It doesn't matter. He just felt like sabotaging everything. This is just consistent practice. To the point where Sirius, from the radio show, they fired him because of their antics and behavior at the Super Bowl. I didn't attend. I had been fired at that point just because I wouldn't sign a contract that would undo my guaranteed money. Um,
Wow, he tried to get you to sign a contract to undo your guaranteed money.
yes,
Like you were an idiot.
yeah, I mean, a lot of people did sign it because they to continue their work and continue their employment, but it ultimately didn't. He's bankrupt. The brand is bankrupt. It's nothing but a Ponzi scheme. The gym is closed. It's just bad business practices, bad business decisions. But ultimately, Sirius fired them primarily because they acted a fool at the Super Bowl. And
Who's they?
Brandon, um, Ashley Nicole, they had an incident during taping. They showed up super late for a taping session that they had for a live radio show that they did on a daily basis.
What
I
incident did they have?
Oh, they cut up and acted a fool and
What?
cursing
Like,
cursing each other out, and
they
I
were
wasn't there, so I can't really.
booting. Are they knocking boots?
Who? I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't.
That sound like
No, 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 no. It was they embarrassed themselves, and
that sound like a drunk couple in
I have no
Vegas or
idea.
something.
I don't listen. I don't speak about that because I don't know any facts about that incident because I wasn't even there. I wasn't there. I just heard about it. But they ended the partnership. Um, just about everybody ended partnerships with I Am Athlete, which is why you don't really, they rebranded themselves as Paper Route, which I make more. I get more views than Paper Route does on the podcast that I
I
started.
never even heard of Paper Route.
Yes, I Am Athlete has been rebranded to Paper Route, but that's a new Ponzi scheme that allows him to, you know, play the shell game of where where's the money going. So once you have bankrupted one business, you just create another business and give it another name, and keep it existent on the social media channel. But ultimately, people see right through it. People see right through the fact that he's toxic, and he's toxic in every possible way, with every possible entity and every possible business.
So
So
have you had a conversation with him? Like, so he obviously owes you money, right?
yeah,
Have you had a conversation with him about like, where's my bread, or why you play me like this?
let lawyers handle
Like
that.
you don't communicate with him whatsoever. Have
No,
you run into him?
no.
Mm.
I don't think I would have anything to say if I ran into him. Like, what? He's a con man. So what is he gonna say? And I think anybody who has ever dealt with him realizes he's a con man. Um, the point I'm making is, you know, I believed Brandon in the whole pivot split and partly because he's got great verbal game, but in reality, and confronted him about a lot of the things that Fred Taylor and Channing Crowder and Ryan Clark and
Mhm.
those guys said. But the reality is, every single thing that they said about him was 100% accurate.
Very true.
And seeing it from the inside,
Well, what about the part about him putting up all the money and them not putting up money and wanting to equally split it? Is that true? Because I remember that was something that was said from the beginning.
yeah, I mean, they
So,
didn't put up any money, but the whole point of what they were doing was, we began as we're all equal partners in this thing. And yeah,
mhm,
he put up the majority of the money, but when it came time to, it escalated and grew into something very profitable, okay, if we began this as a partnership, then everybody needs to put up for what has been spent so far.
and did they do that?
No, I don't think they
No,
ever
he's
got.
not wrong for that part. I don't think he's wrong for that part.
No, he's not wrong for that part, but
Okay.
I think he exaggerated about everything that he did and everything that he put
Oh,
in, because a lot of the time the money that was spent paying to keep his gym alive,
so he
and
was
so
capping.
it was always it's always a shell game in terms of what's real. And Brandon's so bad at business that he can't even tell you how much money he spent. But literally, we would fly places buying a ticket the day before, even though we know we're going someplace 2 months ago. That's how bad business was.
That's
And
ghetto.
you're talking about people working for months without being paid. Him actually, um, being 3 weeks behind on people's payments, and basically making them continue to work because they're now 5 weeks in, 3 weeks behind on payment. Um,
Wow.
it's just such bad business, and I feel sad for all of the people who are left behind, because there are a lot of good people, and a lot of the one thing I
Yeah,
will
a
say is,
lot of not wealthy people.
yeah, one thing I will say is, he knew talent, and he knew how to find and identify talent, but then he also knew how to abuse that talent. And there are a lot of people who were abused in his wake, because, man, was that guy abusive.
One thing about it, he better be lucky because I was remember you and I were talking about me bringing a woman
Mhm.
show to that network, and when I tell you, if he would have played me, it would have been different. I would have probably aired his ass out. I ain't gonna hold you. You kept quiet. You a good one, because let me tell you, I would have aired that little motherfucker
At,
the
at,
fuck
at a
out.
certain point, lawyers are like, okay, stay quiet, let the legal situation handle it. But the reality is, he's so bankrupt that I'm probably number 7 on the list of debtors that he owes money to.
And he's going through a divorce too, right?
Yeah. And
Y'all ain't getting shit before her.
oh no, she's owed half of everything. And yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I feel really sad about all that she's had to endure, because I know now who he truly is, and it makes you feel sorry for her.
Oh man. Well, I was sad when it happened to you. I told you before you did it to make sure we knew some shit about him. We didn't know everything, but we knew some shit.
Yeah,
And you went
my
for it.
paperwork was good. The problem is, when people go bankrupt, uh, you know,
So that paperwork don't mean shit.
pretty much.
Well, I hope that you recoup something. I hope you get paid something, because that's a fucked up situation to be in. And
The
I'm bad
lesson
that
is,
it happened to you.
the ultimate lesson is, do not do business or work with people with mental illness. And I could feel I could feel sorry for him. He was the first professional athlete who came out and said, "Hey, I have a mental disorder."
You look back now and think that was like a scam, or he
I
really was
mean, it's
being a true
the I
advocate for
mean, yes,
mental
he
illness.
probably is. He has borderline personality disorder. He destroys every relationship. Borderline personality disorder, one of the major traces, you destroy every relationship in your life,
Mm.
because you're just that toxic. But I think the biggest issue is, he's narcissist, and He's a really big narcissist. And that makes such a toxic, dangerous combination. And just everybody in his life abused. And ultimate lesson, do not do business with people with mental illness because
Well,
they can't stop themselves.
yeah, I would say narcissists because some people have a mental illness that you can still do business with them.
I don't know if I would, but
There
yeah.
are different
You
mental
know what the
illnesses.
funny thing is, I never knew what a narcissist was until I met him. I never,
Really?
I
Well, lucky
never knew.
you. I dated a few back in the day. I knew what those motherfuckers were.
You know, it's funny that they have all these posts are about narcissists on social media. Oh, avoid these narcissists, and I think people are truly abusing narcissists. Now you have a bad ex, who who didn't do everything that you wanted to do, didn't sponsor your life the way they want to sponsor your life, didn't do whatever. And you're quick to say, "Oh, that person's a narcissist." No, that
Mm,
person, no,
just
they're real
it was
narcissists in this
yeah,
world.
it's different. It's different.
Yeah.
It's for sure different. All right, now that we got some work out of the way, we can talk some sports. Now, let's get into the number one sports topic trending right now. Draymond Green has been suspended indefinitely by the NBA. Now,
When they say indefinitely, I ask myself, what does that mean? Like,
oh, I
the,
know what that means.
what does it mean?
To me, that means whenever we feel like you're sorry, whenever you do A, B, C, and X, Y, Z of the things that we've asked you to do, and we feel you've humbled yourself and you've begged to get back in, we're gonna let you back in. And I think it's the right decision because sometimes when you give somebody a 5 games, 7 games, 10 games, it's kind of like, all right, when that's over, I'm gonna be back out here. And they realized when they gave him those last 5, all he did was sit there and wait for those 5s to be over with and jump back out there. When it's indefinite, you don't know when you're getting your job back. You don't know. You really got to be on good behavior until they say.
Until they say what? Like, are they making him do like counseling sessions, go to
Yes,
therapy, like
yes,
the talk about
yes,
your anger issues?
yes.
Like,
I think
what's
they're
it?
trying to figure out what the issues are. Like, if there's some issues, maybe there's not. Maybe he's just a piece of shit. Maybe he just likes to harm people. Or maybe there is something deep down inside of him that isn't settled that he needs to deal with.
So they're gonna be listening to every podcast and figuring out whether or not he's sorry now, or like
It's up to them.
I
It's
have
really up to them. It's genuinely up to them. I think it was the right decision because for me, let's say he goes on his podcast or he goes on somebody else's podcast and he's just like, oh, whatever. I'm just waiting for them to figure out when I'm coming back.
yeah.
And then
Mhm.
fuck you. Have a seat. Have a fucking seat. So I think they're just trying to wait and see what humbling things that he does, like whatever it is that they require for him to get back, he absolutely has to do those things. And then probably go on a whole I'm sorry campaign. Probably got to go fucking shake some hands, kiss some babies. I don't fucking know. Whatever makes the NBA feel like he's softer and
Mm.
he's ready to just get out there and play basketball, then that's
He
what
should
he.
just go be a studio host on TNT till his suspension's over. Like
Well, do you think they would give him that kind of job considering that he's being punished right now?
I think that it depends on whether or not how deeply in their NBA partnership TNT is, and they are a big partner with the NBA.
True.
And you got to sit him down. And so I guess putting him on air, but he's got his own podcast. He's got his
Yeah,
own.
go. You can go on your own podcast. He's great on his podcast.
He's
He's
phenomenal on his
amazing. Yeah,
podcast. Yeah.
amazing. I
So
think I think that this is the first time because and I'm an advocate for standing up for your teammate. I don't give a fuck what's going on. Like whatever
I know.
happens, be on your teammate's side, your
Ride or
partner's
die.
side. We've
Yeah.
seen that from the Warriors, and this is the first time I've heard Steve Kerr not defend Draymond Green. This is the first time ever that I've heard him say he's fucking up. He fucked up here. He fucked up here. He did this. He did this. He did it. He's the problem. He needs to fix himself. Every single time Draymond does some shit, Steve Kerr is in on that podium saying, It wasn't his fault. He didn't do. It was a reason. They did this. They did this. This is the first time he went to the podium and said, "Oh, I didn't watch the replay. I don't know what happened." And then today in practice, that's when he said, "Yo, he's fucked up. He did some foul shit and he needs to get himself together." So this is like accountability from his own people that stand by him, and I think that's what was needed a long time
do
ago.
you think that haymaker is accidental? Because he said, and I did believe Draymond from this standpoint. He's like, if I'm turning around doing 160, that's an accurate as hell punch.
But this is the thing about the haymaker. It didn't really land. So it wasn't a real haymaker, but I won't say he didn't swing his arm. Does that make sense? He flailed his arm knowing someone would be there, and there's a great chance that he would hit the guy, but I don't think he meant for it to hit him like that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense. I believed Draymond. I believed the lies right up until somebody cut up a 5-minute video of Draymond and all his antics that he does on social media on during the game, and that hit social media. And then you're just watching it clip after clip after clip after clip of all the bullshit that he does. And you're thinking to myself, okay, no way he's innocent. No way this was.
But that's the thing. He's been doing it for so long and getting away with it. And his coaching staff and his teammates. Imagine if, let's just for 1 second, imagine if this is Anthony Davis doing this on the Lakers. What would the media say to LeBron James?
I don't know. See, I don't know. I don't know. I think maybe this is a soft era because I remember watching the Detroit Pistons. They played like that. The New York Knicks.
Isn't that though? This isn't that. This hasn't been that in 20 years.
Okay, but I guess it's because of the era of basketball that I grew up watching. Like the New York Knicks, they did some of this shit. Anthony Mason did some of this shit.
And this isn't that, Omar. Why are you even reverting back to a time that has nothing to do with right now?
Because he's a throwback player, and
no, he's not.
No, you don't think so?
No, they were way worse. They were way worse than Draymond in the 90s. You remember that? The 80s too?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They squared up. Squared up. Get him up. Swinging. Draymond hasn't done that. The only person he did that to was Jordan Poole in practice. Now the choke, I don't care what nobody says, that wasn't a real choke. If you're being choked, you can't talk. You can't say, put your hands up like this and say, he's choking me. He's choking me. Can you?
No.
If somebody's really choking you.
Yeah.
So
I mean, but I had him.
You would have been trying to get your air, like you would have been like, you know what I mean? Like trying to release him.
He still had his arm around that man's neck, though.
But he's doing soft shit. Like, does that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
It's soft. It looks aggressive because of now everybody's so soft, but this is soft, aggressive shit to me. He ain't once swung on somebody like straight up fight.
Hey, yeah.
It's little shit like
French man ain't never go at it. Him and the French Rudy Gobert.
No, even the kick he did on old boy's chest wasn't a real kick. It was like a halfway look. You know what I mean?
Okay.
He hasn't really like imposed any physical force, if that makes any sense, like the 80s and the 90s did. Mm-hmm. But it's still not okay because no one else is doing that.
I think that, yes, nobody is playing that way. But I think the fact that I grew up watching that era of basketball and watching that brand of basketball, I look at it and I'm like, yeah, just not crossing the line. But yes, you're right. We're 20 years later. Like nobody play like that.
Nobody's playing like that no more. So he's really he just has to stop it. Like that's really what it is. He has to stop, like knock it the fuck off now, because now you're fucking around with your career, right? And not only that, you're fucking around with the Warriors' chances of competing. Now, my question to you is, should the Warriors trade him?
No.
Why not?
I think he's a very integral part of who they are and their DNA. I think he brings a toughness to a finesse team, and I don't know what they would look like if they didn't have Draymond Green. I mean, we'll soon learn.
They haven't been having him.
Yeah,
And who's to say he don't come back and they don't have him again? And no one is expecting the Warriors to contend for a championship this year.
really?
No, not me. Have you seen them lately?
No, no.
Everybody is they're in they're in the washer. They're not washed, but they in there. They in there. All we need is Clay to hit power. He didn't hit the power button. Draymond has chosen his cycle. All we need is Steph to hit play, and them fucking Warriors are washed. Okay, to me, the Warriors are in need of a change. They're in need of some new blood. People are talking about Wiggins and all these other players aren't playing good. Yeah, they are. They're playing the same. The problem is the starters aren't the same. The stars aren't the same. So they can't be the same guys that they were. Those guys would hold leads after the Warriors took off on somebody. They ain't taking off on nobody no more. You remember the time in the third quarter when the game was over for the Warriors?
Yes.
That is no longer washed. Okay, it's on the way.
A lot of teams either washed or in the wash in the Western Conference. So
Yes,
I mean,
it is happening. It is happening. Who is not happening to is the Lakers. Let's talk about the in-season tournament. Did you watch?
no.
What? Oh, see, this is why I know you're not a basketball fan. You didn't watch any of it?
No,
Why
I couldn't
not?
I couldn't even I hated the courts. Like the
That's
court.
that's what made you stop watching basketball, the courts?
No. It's football season. I can't. I right now and
It's
people don't.
football season. It's football and basketball season.
It's not basketball season for me until football season is done, and this is
That's why
football
I don't,
season.
that's why I don't have that many basketball topics for you. We got 3 topics now.
Is
Let's get through this Lakers. Since you didn't watch, let me
congratulations on your fake championship.
Thank you.
You gonna put the banner up?
So let's get to this because y'all, you know what? You motherfuckers are getting on my nerve.
Y'all gonna put the banner up or what?
Some funky dog hair bitch on Instagram sent me a link to some scrawny little white man named Mad Dog. He was talking shit about the Lakers and saying how disgusting and embarrassing it is if we hang that banner up in the stadium. So I want to ask you, do you think
Kobe
it's
said only
embarrassing
championships
if we
go
hang
up
a
in the
banner
stadium.
up? Huh?
Kobe said only championships go up in the stadium. If Kobe
That
said
is
it,
a championship. So you're saying if the Heat won the in-season tournament,
hell no.
they not hanging a banner up?
Hell no. They not putting no banner up.
Wow, y'all some.
I mean,
fucking
and he
haters.
got banners for everybody and everything up. We not putting no.
We have more than you guys, way more than y'all.
Okay, congratulations.
And we're just adding to it. We're just letting people know that we're going to dominate no matter what's happening in the NBA. We're going to dominate. And you know what else that banner says to the rest of y'all?
That
we hit it first. We hit it first, bitch.
Please,
hang that goddamn banner up, Lakers. Hang that shit up.
Please tell me, outside of trying to make the regular season interesting, what's the purpose? I don't get it.
The purpose of you're right to make the early part of this season interesting, but it's also to highlight and showcase teams that can get some type of contention, some type of championship going early in the season. Some of these teams, like the Pacers, no one is expecting them to be a contender, right? Mm-hmm. They're young, they're hungry, but in a one game bracket, they can come get your ass if they get hot.
They can score 140 on you.
Yeah, it's also something for those players, those bottom 5, those 10 to 15 on the roster, those two-way players, to actually earn a legitimate paycheck for a month.
Okay.
I'm with it. And it makes Tuesdays and Fridays very fucking interesting. 2 days that the NBA doesn't, I mean, the NFL does not own.
You're correct. Okay. So why we got to make the court so ugly?
Now, I don't know why they did the courts like that. I didn't have a problem with them, but everybody hated the courts. I liked them. I like the
Change the
jerseys.
jerseys. Change the
I like it
jerseys.
all.
Change the jerseys.
But you
Give
didn't
me
like the
my
court.
regular court. That court was that all of the courts was horrible. Like just put an in season banner in the middle of the court. Like it was I mean, and I guess I'm a person who doesn't like change, but come on, that was everybody knew the whole course was hideous. And I get it. You were trying to represent the fact that this is different, but
Yeah.
was
It's showing history. It's showing like when you see those courts, whenever you watching highlights from 10, 15 years from now, you gonna know, oh, that was in season tournament hoop right there. You see what I mean? They doing something. I like it. They doing something over there.
okay. I mean,
Adam doing something.
the one thing that I have learned over the years of covering the NFL is when you get a collective group of 32 billionaires together and their think tanks of CEOs and CFOs, it's usually going to be a good idea. So I'm not hating on the in-season tournament. Maybe 5 years from now, it'll have more stock and more value to it.
I bet if the Heat was contending, you would have probably put your
Half
nose
the
in
time
a
they
little
ain't
more.
even like play a real player. They like
They don't have no real players.
We got Jimmy, we got Bam, we got Hero. I'm going.
That's where it stops. Jimmy
Yeah,
and Bam.
yeah.
That's where it is. And I will give one more. We ain't even gonna get into that. Jimmy and Bam. Let's leave it right there. That's it.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Allow it.
Somebody
Okay.
gonna want Hero one day. Somebody, and we're gonna make amazing trade. Somebody gonna want Hero one day.
Somebody gonna want to come to South Beach. Somebody gonna want to come.
It ain't happening lately. We just waiting. Just waiting. We waiting for our next whale.
Well, y'all had a nice run last season. Y'all got to the championship, but I don't know how it happened. So anything is possible, right?
That's correct.
Anything is possible.
Playoff Jimmy.
It won't happen again this year, but it happened, right?
Yeah.
You gotta give them credit for that. Now, one of the teams that you guys beat in the first round last year, the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Greek Freak, just broke a franchise record of 64 points. Let's give him a round of applause for that. That's big. And it just so happened to be against the team that whooped their ass to get to the in-season tournament championship, the Indiana Pacers. Did you watch that game? Did you happen to catch any of it?
No.
Okay, so it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. All you need to know is that Giannis had 64 points and he wanted the ball, the game ball, and they wouldn't give him the ball. Now, here's what they tried to say, and I don't believe it. I'm calling bullshit. But they gave him a ball, like, there's a whole rack of balls out there at the game, right? They're like, here, throw him one. Nah. He was like, no, fuck that. I want the ball we played with. They told Giannis that they gave the game ball to a rookie who had scored his first NBA point at the free throw line. And they wanted him to have the ball. Now, who deserves that ball, Omar?
If Giannis wants the ball, Giannis gets the ball. Like,
it wasn't a home game, though. Remember, it was in Indiana.
Okay, so it was an Indiana rookie?
Yes, I believe. Yes, he's a rookie.
Oh, if it's my home, I don't care about you. Yeah, I ain't got to worry about you leaving me as a free agent. Okay.
That's bullshit, Omar.
my home court. I ain't got to worry about you. Don't care.
Wow, you with that?
Yeah, I mean, if they're being loyal to their player and this is his first basket,
rookie scored one fucking point and you want to give him a game ball?
Rather than give the game ball to a rival player.
Think about it though. Like you're in the NBA. Like, come on. If that happened to anybody else, if you were on a road and you had this incredible game, you would expect the team to give you the ball as well. It really shouldn't have anything to do with
I
being
didn't see
home.
the game, but I have seen the Indiana Pacers, and they don't play no defense at
No,
all.
no.
So somebody might put up 65 points on them this year too. Like
Well, guess what? Then they need to start handing balls out. Just start a collection of them. Here you go, everybody, because they don't play no fucking defense.
they don't play no
And
defense.
and Giannis was basically the whole time like, get out the way, everybody. I'll do it my fucking self. Y'all fucked up last time we played them. Now I'm gonna make sure we get the fucking win. And he did. 64. I mean, he downhill on they ass the whole game. It was
They don't
pretty
play no
interesting.
defense.
No,
They don't play one.
they ain't going nowhere until they can stop somebody. You can score, you can lead the league in points and all that you want to, but until you can stop somebody, it's going to be very hard for you to contend for any type of championship. Yes.
Agreed.
Moving on. Last basketball subject. Okay.
All right. Continue to torture me. Come on. You know I don't watch Hungarian basketball, but Heat basketball until the play.
Well, you're gonna like this one. You're gonna like this one. Okay, the Chicago Bulls have their first ever inaugural Ring of Honor, and they're honoring 13 players from the past. There's not just players, there's executives, there's front office people, there's workers, there's coaches, there's on-air personalities. But the interesting story about this is obviously the Bulls from the 91 to 98, the break in between championship team is going to be honored. And this is only going to be the third time since they won those championships that Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan will be at the United Center together. Okay. The first time since the championship was 2009 when Red Kerr, you remember Red Kerr, Johnny Kerr? You probably don't. Anyways, he passed away and they had a ceremony for him there. And then in 2011, the team got together to celebrate the 20th anniversary of their first championship, which was 91, right? Okay. What has happened since 2011 that will make this very uncomfortable, Omar? Do you know?
The fact that Scotty's wife or ex-wife is now with Michael's son. But listen, you can't control what your children do.
No.
Like what is Michael going to say?
Well, you're also missing one more thing. The Last Dance happened since then.
Oh yeah, I mean, but Scotty's put out his own version and his own book and all, yeah.
You don't think there's any beef?
There is. I mean, there's beef. I mean,
then on top of it, Michael Jordan's heir is dribbling his balls in Scottie Pippen's ex-wife's mouth.
She used to get him Christmas gifts as a child.
Bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Bullshit.
Oh, absolutely. I've seen it. Like she's acknowledged it. Like she used to buy him Christmas gifts as a child. I mean, but listen, she ain't got no shame in her game.
She shouldn't though. She shouldn't.
Okay, all right.
She shouldn't. Jordan and Pippen have beef though. Be clear. There's beef, right?
But they've been beef. There's been beef. You telling me they haven't been together at like a Hall of Fame event?
No, that's beef. That lets you know. They have not, they don't fuck with each other. How awkward is it for them to just stand up there next to each other knowing that Michael Jordan is about to be
each other when they were playing? And I'm a big Chicago Bulls fan.
Scottie fucked with Jordan. Jordan didn't fuck with Scottie. There's a big difference between that, okay? Big difference. And now to know that this nigga that you don't fuck with that played you in The Last Dance and your ex is about to marry his son, and you're the best man.
He is not going to be the best man. Don't do that.
Yes, he did. His son said it. His son said that they're the best men in all of their weddings of the kids and the dad. Jordan's the best man at everybody's wedding of his sons.
He is not going to be the best.
Yes, he is.
Yes. You gonna draw a line? He is not going to be the
Yes, he
best man.
is. His son said it.
How old is she, by the way?
She's my age, I believe. I think she's 48.
Okay, all right.
What's the problem with the age? What's the issue?
No. I'll let it ride. Like,
Because I don't see the problem. It's not like he's 18 or 17 or 16.
oh,
Like
he's
he's
a
a
grown
grown
man.
ass man.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's
He's a
grown
grown
as
man.
shit.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Hey, I don't knock it if you happy. I love it.
I
So
know Jordan is gonna eat this shit up. He is
no,
petty.
he is not going to be that bad.
He
That
is
bad. He's
petty.
not.
Jordan's one of the pettiest billionaires. Are you kidding me? You don't think
You're right.
Jordan's gonna enjoy this?
Okay, you're right.
Huh.
You're right.
I wish I had tickets to the game. It's on January 12th, by the way. Anybody that wants to go to it. Oh, so January 10th through the 12th, they have an entire like an artistic review thing going on there. So you could, if you have tickets to the 10th game or the 12th game, you can go and inside of it, and they have all this memorabilia and all these moments and all this stuff going on from the 10th to the 12th at the United Center, and then the induction is happening on the January 12th because that's the game they play against the Warriors, and Steve Kerr will be in town, and he is also being inducted.
Okay, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah,
Um,
this is
well,
gonna be fun.
it, now I'm more interested in the wedding. I need a date of that because if he shows up as the best man, I'm like, damn, that is some petty ass shit. Just,
Yes,
just
Jordan is petty as fuck, and I love it.
it's like, hey,
All right, your torture is over, Omar.
I can't, I cannot believe he cannot be the best man. He cannot.
Yes,
No.
I'm excited for it. I hope I get an invitation. I'm going. I'm about to see if I get on the list. Okay, on to NFL news. Cam Newton is being raped,
Roasted. Yeah.
roasted, dusted, everything for his opinion on what is considered a difference maker or a game managing quarterback.
Hmm.
Now, do you remember the four players that he listed that he said were game managers and not difference makers?
Jared Goff,
Mm-hmm.
Tua Tagovailoa.
Mm-hmm.
I'm missing two more.
Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott, yes.
And for the 49ers,
Oh yeah. Brock Purdy, who's the number one
Purdy.
rated quarterback in the NFL. And here's the thing. I caught wind of it when everybody's throwing shade Cam Newton's direction and whatever. And unfortunately, what a lot of people do in today's age of media, primarily social media, is they listen to a 45-second or 90-second clip of what somebody's going off on, and they don't necessarily hear the entire context. And I heard what Cam Newton said, and it's not the first time I've heard him because we've been on tour. We've had a I Am Athlete tour, and he's been the featured individual, and he said similar comments before. And when you hear the end of the clip where he says there's a difference between a game manager and a game changer, and
a difference maker.
I think he called it game changer, and he's right. And Cam Newton was a game changer in that era. And if you think about it today, he's right, because I think there are only four quarterbacks in the NFL right now that you can say are game changers: Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and then I'm debating whether or not I could put Jalen Hurts in there, but I think I have to qualify him as a game changer because he can change the game with his movement and his athleticism and the way that he evades pressure and extends plays. Hell, the tush push, that's a goddamn game changer because you literally can't get them off the field if they don't want you on field. So, and considering he was a game changer in his era, in his prime, at one point he was one of the best quarterbacks in the damn NFL.
Yes.
I have to agree with him. Tua is not a game changer.
Thank you,
J-
Omar.
Jared Goff is not a game changer.
Thank you.
Dak Prescott, so far in his career, he has not been a game changer. We'll see in this playoff stint because he looks like he's probably riding a hot streak. But we know it's not the regular season that's Dak Prescott's problem. It's the playoffs.
Playoff.
Um, Hell, and I get it. Brock Purdy has probably the best team in the NFL, and he is in a quarterback friendly system. But how many times does he put the team on his back and carry them to over the line? And I don't know if that's happening. So I get what Cam Newton is saying. Now, the point I think that he probably was unintentionally trying to make is that I could play and do what they're doing, which, come on, brother, you can't.
We out, yeah, we out of that era.
Yeah,
The
you can't.
shoulder, the
When
shoulder.
when you were playing, you couldn't even throw the ball 20 yards downfield. Like
Hold on. In his best time, or are you talking about when he was?
when he was still hanging on with the Patriots and
Then
came back with Carolina. Like, brother, you couldn't throw the ball 25 yards downfield.
I think he's not like Cam Newton. First of all, I want to just tell the people that tried to say he doesn't have a lane to have this discussion, to have a fucking seat.
Yeah.
Yes, the hell he does. If anything, he has that. Okay, he has the right to speak on anything in regards to a quarterback. He has done just about. I don't give a fuck that you mad that he didn't jump on that fucking fumble. I don't care. Okay, he still was that nigga. He was still the best quarterback in the league. He backed it up. He got to the Super Bowl. He made his team
very
great.
limited weapons.
He was not ever in the way. He was the reason that a lot of things happened. Okay. Absolutely. So let's just cut the shit right there.
And he's also a pioneer in the media game.
Yes.
And so let's not put disrespect on Freaky Friday. Like everybody everybody in this era of media is creating their own media product and in their own lane. And you can say whatever you want. You've had a podcast. You and I give you credit because you're always a pioneer. You had a podcast and stopped doing it 2 years before podcasting started taking off. Yeah. You have always been a pioneer at whatever you're doing. And I'm doing alldolphins.com and the All Dolphins podcast, and it's hard. Yeah, it's hard. This ain't easy.
No.
And so Cam Newton is out there pioneering. Hell, he's about to do a tour with Brandon Marshall. Condolences to him. You're gonna learn what crazy people's like.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck to you. But he's been a pioneer in that game. So don't think that he doesn't have the right to say whatever he wants to say, because he's out there putting out good product, good interviews too.
Yeah. So let's us two non-football players discuss what it takes to be a difference maker as a quarterback. What do you think is required to be a difference maker as a quarterback?
I'll give you a perfect example. What happened to Tua in the last game that they lost to the Tennessee Titans, where the defense crumbled, gave up a 14-point lead, but you still had 1 minute and 47 seconds to get your team in field goal territory. I don't care that you had 4 backups on your offensive line. I don't care that Tyreek Hill was on one leg out there limping around as a decoy. It don't matter.
Don't matter.
You got 1 minute and 47 seconds to drive your team down the field and put them in position to kick a field goal to win a game that your defense absolutely gave away. When you are a game changer, there is no doubt in your mind that that's going to happen. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, you give them 147 with no timeouts, you think they're not going down the field, putting their team in position to kick a field goal? Oh, they damn sure are.
You know who else we need to put in that conversation? Joe Burrow. But go ahead.
Yeah, I thought about that. What hurts Joe Burrow is the injury and the fact that he's played hurt this year. And yes, but I agree with you, Joe Burrow. I flirted with that when I initially heard Cam Newton's comments. I put out a tweet saying, and people always think it's like, oh, you're just a contrarian, and I'm like, no, I'm just an independent thinker. I don't necessarily want to follow what everybody else is saying and repeating. I want to
Mhm.
hear people out and then put my own context to it. And I did mention the three quarterbacks we talked about: Mahomes, Josh, Lamar. And then I said Hurts and Burrow are kind of in that
You
category.
being disrespectful with Hurts, but I'm gonna let you have it.
You
I'm gonna
think
let
you
you
think
have it.
so?
Yeah, he went to the Super Bowl, Omar. He was literally the number one team 2 weeks ago. Stop fucking playing with him. Okay.
Okay, and then
And
he
he
got
had the
and
two
then his
bad
team
weeks in
got
a row.
smacked. Then his
Suddenly,
team got
suddenly
smacked
he's
by the
not that
49ers.
nigga.
They got
Suddenly he's not
smacked by
that.
Dallas.
You can get spanked by two teams and still be that nigga. It can still be true. Two things can be true. Okay.
Okay,
It can
okay.
happen. We
So
let's
so
not look at before he went to the Super Bowl, the year before what he did, and the year before that what he did, and let's go back to college when he left one school because he lost his job to Tua, went to another school and still went undefeated and kicked ass. Come on, somebody.
listen,
Y'all better stop playing with Jalen Hurts. I don't care what's going on. Win, lose, or draw, that man has earned the respect of being one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL.
okay, statistically he's all right now.
See, now
And
you want to run the numbers. Watch the tape. Watch
okay,
the tape.
that's true. That's true.
Too bad. There was 2 weeks. I'm gonna give you
I
that
say
2
he in
weeks.
the conversation.
Them 2 weeks was bad. And let's not act like those two losses weren't from two Super Bowl contenders.
We putting Dallas in the Super Bowl contender category.
Absolutely. Right now in the NFC, there's only those three teams.
Yes, I mean it's not
That's
even
it.
three teams in the AFC. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You
I
gotta
think
put them there. We gotta give them what they've earned. They do look different. Now, it's late December. They gotta bend this corner right here going into the playoffs. This is
it.
what usually separates them from the pack. Now we're gonna find out if they're gonna continue with the pack or they're gonna separate.
You know what I'm learning about December football, because I've only covered a team that's been irrelevant in December for 2 decades.
Right.
What I'm learning about December football is one, players are on like 70%. They're on fumes trying to finish out this stretch.
Mm-hmm.
One injury can change the complexion of your team. Like it's got to be a big injury, but like for instance, Tyreek.
Let's talk about it, Omar, because I know a lot of y'all. Now, I last week I put the Dolphins. We picked Super Bowl, AFC, NFC, and I picked the Dolphins.
Yeah, okay.
And then y'all came out and shit the bed in 3 minutes. Okay, is Tyreek playing this week? What's up?
He probably is playing, but he's not going. He's on one leg.
So, what is your offense gonna look like without Tyreek Hill? Tell me, please help me out.
They're going to have to run the ball, and this is the thing about the Dolphins. They've been consistently good in running the ball. They're second in yardage, number one in yards per attempt, and in fact, they're top 10. I think they're number 7 in yards per attempt in NFL history. But this coach is like, nah, we're going to throw. And we got Tyreek. We're going to throw. Well, you've already shown and proven that you can pass. That you can run the ball consistently. And I think they need to go to I formation, play action, and start to be physical with teams. But the problem is they've got 4 backups on their offensive line. And in fact, their backup center is hurt with a calf injury in Liam Eichenberg. So they're probably gonna be starting a guy at center who they signed on Wednesday, who's gonna have one practice before he has to go out there in the game. And I don't really know how much you can understand somebody's system or play calls and identify calls and checks in 3 walkthroughs and 1 practice. So it's going to be a challenge, but I think offensive linemen have always said it's easier for us to run block than it is to pass block. And I think you better.
For anyone.
Yeah.
For anyone, it's easier for you to just push the pile than to hold it up and get protection.
Yeah.
Now the Jets are coming in town. Now that's a good thing and a bad thing because the Jets are stinky, if you ask me. But that defense is not stinky.
Yes, but they're one of the bottom teams. I think they're like 28th against the run, and partly because they're always on the field because their offense sucks. So
yeah. That don't mean nothing. When you watch the game, the early into the game, the defense is clicking. It's just
Yes,
they get worn down after time. So are you
absolutely.
concerned at all that the Jets could come in and beat the Dolphins this week?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because we know we've seen and waited for that so Dolphins moment where things just start to unravel, and this has got, man, these fans are panicking because they smell it in the air. Like, here we go, we set ourselves up for a great ride in the postseason. Then, oh, we lost our whole line. Oh, Tariq is hurt. Oh, you know, we don't have any identity without Tyreek because all we've done is feed Tyreek all season. Oh my God, here it comes again. And they I think this is a different team. They're filled with leaders. They've got confidence, but Tua has to step up and he's got to put this team on his back. And unfortunately, he's had plenty of opportunities to do it this season, and he hasn't gotten it done. Um,
That's honest.
Chiefs game, Eagles game, um, Chiefs game, Eagles game, even in this last game against the Titans, you were on the field with 147 left on the clock, and you went a 3-and-out and got sacked on your fourth. You went 4 plays, got sacked on fourth down. Like, you couldn't even put the ball in the air. Like, and this is not the first time it's happened to you. So he's
Lord,
I believe in Tua. I think he's shown that he has that intangible, that it factor going back to college. But it's time that he pulls it out, and it's time that he pulls it out and shows the world. And it just hasn't happened so far yet. So hopefully it happens against the Jets and this final 3-game stretch that they got against Dallas and Baltimore and then the Bills. Yeah,
December is nasty. Who the hell set their schedule? I thought the Cowboys' schedule was bad in December. Y'all got a bad schedule too.
Yeah.
All winnable games. But
Winnable games.
without Tyreek and without your offensive line, who knew this was going to happen?
Yeah. It just shows I'm not gonna sit here and say that they can't beat anybody, because Baltimore can go lose their center or go lose.
Don't do that, Omar.
I'm
Don't
just
fucking say shit like that.
I'm just saying. No, all it takes. I mean, players.
Just say all it takes is an injury. Don't literally point out a fucking player. Come on now.
What I'm saying is injuries changes the complexion of a team.
Yes.
Especially at this point in the season. And you just really got to be riding a healthy wave to be the hot team in December and January, the healthy team, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's the team that usually is successful. You got to be hot in December. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Right?
Absolutely.
Now, with Tyreek injured, might not be a thought, but I wanted to get your opinion on whether or not you felt like Tyreek should be a contender for the MVP this year.
I changed my tune, and I thought if he did get to 2,000 yards and did something that nobody else did, he should be in the conversation. And considering nobody's really gone out there and put a team on his back, like, what are you going to do? Name Brock Purdy the MVP of the league or Dak Prescott? I think Dak has a good chance, but I'm waiting for that December swan song that Dallas always does, where they just shit the bed. So I thought Tyreek had a good chance, but now I really don't think that he's going to get to 2,000 yards, just because, and he could prove me wrong, because he always says Cheetah don't get hurt. And right now we know Cheetah hurt.
Cheetah hurt.
But he said he hasn't saying Cheetah don't get hurt. So I mean, truthfully speaking, Tyreek could pop up. Tyreek could not practice all week and then pop up and put up 80 yards.
Yeah. Well, we're hoping that the Cheetah licks his wounds.
Yeah.
Back out there and ready to go. He got a little drama on his hands as well. A couple baby mamas is after that.
Listen, when they start
rains and pours, Omar.
Oh, when they start taking pictures with the baby in the jersey, come on, man.
Listen, you got it. You listen. This is what I want to tell all these athletes. Okay, you have to make better raw decisions. Okay. If you're not ready,
Yeah,
If you're not ready to have a child with a woman, do not sleep with her raw ever. And you probably shouldn't with a condom either, because shit happens. These women are tricky out here. Let me tell you, and they can
trifling.
get
They not
pregnant.
they not tricky. They trifling.
They can get pregnant, condom or not. It's happening out here. So y'all better be careful now. Y'all better be careful. It's a lot
Well, you better
happening right
go in
now.
there and flush that condom yourself.
Just eat it.
Mm-mm.
These bitches is
Don't,
getting
don't, don't.
getting something into the toilet, yanking that bitch out of there.
I take it with you in your
That's
pocket.
nasty. That's
Like
nasty. All right, back. Okay. That was nasty. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, AFC North. Other news in the AFC North: Belichick is out in New England.
is he though?
Omar,
Is he though?
I
Because he's
think
not
I
confirmed.
kind of predicted this. I talked about this earlier in the season, and I said they were probably going to get rid of him. So
But
first of all, you don't think Belichick is out? You're saying he's not out?
no, just the reporting. The report is more speculation, and if it had, you would hear more rumblings about it. I think there's a very strong possibility he's going to be fired. But the thing is, he's chasing Don Shula's record for all-time wins. Uh, it- I how do you treat a legend? Is is the question. And I remember I wasn't covering the Dolphins, but I was a fan. And when the Dolphins wanted Jimmy Johnson, they just pushed Don Shula out the door. Boom. All right, we done.
Wow,
And
that's
that's
how it
what
went.
happened. And I was never ever comfortable with how a legend went out. And here's the thing about New England. Okay, you're tired of Belichick. It's not going right. Belichick, the GM, is basically making horrible decisions. That's compromising the talent and and the quality of that team. Because technically, they should be tanking right now. They should be trying to intentionally
Absolutely.
lose. Um, so how do you fix that situation? And then who replaces Belichick? Like, do you really think that anybody's gonna be like, oh yeah, my job, I want it, I want that job? What? No, nobody don't want that
Right.
job. Like, okay, Mike Grable, if he's fired in Tennessee, does he go and replace Belichick? Like, who's gonna really want that job? But there's such a hot train wreck right now in the wake of Tom Brady, and they've been that. I know they made the playoffs one year, but that was because they kind of backdoored their way in. They've been sucking since Tom Brady left.
I think it's safe to say that it was Tom.
Yeah.
Remember that debate? Everybody
Oh
was
yeah.
saying,
It
"Oh,
was never a
it's
debate for me.
always been fucking Tom.
Yeah, it was never
Always
a debate
been
for me.
Tom." And I think what Belichick should do now, just the fact that this rumor even got out, like if I was him, I would be like, "Oh, I'm out of here, and I'm going somewhere else, and I'm gonna pull a Tom Brady on y'all and win a Super Bowl somewhere else."
Whatever. I think the Los Angeles Chargers, that's such, because I mean, if their head coach survives tonight, I'd be shocked if he's not fired tomorrow,
Yeah,
because he's done
that
though.
was bad.
That team has quit on him. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
They were supposed to be like one of the best teams this year, last year
yeah, I
too.
mean, they fugazi. Um, but I think that the Chargers is the best job that's out there, and I think Belichick should look for the best situation and look for the best quarterback,
Hmm.
because that's
Let's
the only
work.
yeah, that's the only way he's going to get to Don Shula's record and sort of. But the thing is, do you want to deal with Belichick and the ego, because he thinks he's better than he is? And I'm certainly not giving Belichick GM powers. You can't look at what he's done over here and be like, oh, yeah, you deserve all the power and all the responsibility. But Carolina could also be a good situation for him, even though they really have a young quarterback. I'm dying. Hell, Washington. Uh,
Ooh,
I'm
that's a
dying.
shit show over there. I can't see him
Yeah,
going.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, they got new ownership. They got, it is a shit show, without a
The,
doubt.
the, the graveyards over there are just
I mean,
nasty.
but do you think that Belichick's going to get a good job though? Do you think he's going to like get?
Why not? I mean, it doesn't have to be forever. Like he was in New England. Like it could be 5 years, 4 years. You know what I mean? Like
I mean,
he's
but do you think
old as
that
shit. You
these
don't have
teams are going to
that much
line up?
time, huh?
Do you think that these teams are going to line up and say, "Oh yeah, we got to get in the Belichick business"? We definitely.
Possibly, if you stink, why not? Especially, he will change the locker room. He will change the integrity of the organization. Like he comes with a lot of negative shit, but there's a lot of positive that comes with walking into a Belichick coaching staff,
But
locker room.
can a Belichick approach, regime, culture win with today's era of players?
Well, it just all it takes is for the main players to get on board.
Hmm.
That's it. You get the main guys to follow you. It's their job to get that locker room in order and make sure that they all fighting for the same thing. One band, one sound. Everybody's here for the same thing. And it's not like you haven't seen him win. Like, yes, he had Tom Brady, but there's some things that he put together to help. So if my organization is shit in the dumpster and I'm trying to win in the next 4 years, I would shit. I'll give him a spin. I'll give him a spin.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I've thought
Couldn't
about it.
hurt. Couldn't hurt if you already stink and you
Yeah.
don't have a coach. Couldn't hurt.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely look at it as, because he's singling out there on these streets too. So as old as he is, I'm
Yeah, ain't
thinking,
not that much time.
yeah, I'm
It's
thinking,
this is a short. This is a short trip, a short, quick trip. See if it works. Fuck it. Why not?
yeah, I think the Chargers are like a perfect marriage for him. They already got the quarterback. They're a team that clearly has no culture. He could get the band back together again. Him and McDaniels. So
Oh,
I definitely think that it's a situation that could benefit him.
okay. Let's move on to another topic. Eagles Seahawks has been flexed to Monday night. Now we just talked about the Eagles getting washed the last 2 weeks. The Seahawks are not. The Seahawks are hanging on to their playoff chances by a thread, the tiniest of threads, which not existent. However, a win against the Eagles changes the entire picture of the NFC. It not only makes the Cowboys and the 49ers up as far as who gets that home court advantage, but it gives the Eagles, I mean, it gives the Seahawks an opportunity to still fight for a position. What does it say if the Eagles don't come out here and stomp a mud hole in the Seahawks on Monday?
I mean, I don't see any chance the Seahawks have because the way that the Eagles have been embarrassed in their DNA as a team, they're gonna be ferocious about it. They're gonna be fighting, hungry, clawing. So if the Seahawks even make it a game, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, that's what we're all expecting. But when you on that downhill slope, it's kind of hard to get back up. You do want a team like this when you're on your way up. The Eagles do have a very easy schedule in December. Props to them. They took all their lumps already. Now they can coast through this thing. And if they win all their games outright, they have the home court advantage against the Cowboys by points, I believe. But the 49ers have the tiebreaker between all three of them because they beat them both, right? So the Cowboys this week have the Buffalo Bills.
Yo, I don't want to play Buffalo.
Nobody wants to play Buffalo. I don't give a
Well,
shit
yeah.
how many times they lose. You still don't want to play them, right?
Dolphins end the season with them, and I keep warning these Dolphin fans because Josh Allen, he paid child support to Miami because he their daddy. I keep warning these Dolphins. Josh Allen's gonna get in your ass. Like in season finale, you better hope nothing is on the line because Josh Allen is gonna get in your ass.
Yeah, he
Um,
haunts me. Those 3 years I was there, they came and got us all three fucking times, bro. All three times. In the
yeah.
fucking sleet, rain, fucking hail, snow. Who put the fucking Dolphins in Buffalo in December? But this year it's in Miami, right?
Yes, it's in Miami.
So
Thank God.
you
Yeah.
have that as an advantage. At least
Yeah.
it's not
I
in
used to
freezing
hate that
under. Yes.
Buffalo trip to the set. I still hate Buffalo. I like God. I prayed. I pray all of you people in Buffalo discover that there's a better way to live. Like, just
Yeah, it's nasty. So who do you have in that game? Bills, Cowboys.
I I I think it's gonna be Bills. And here's the
Everybody's saying the Bills are gonna beat them. Damn.
um because the Cowboys always fugazi. They always show up fugazi in when the pressure when the lights are the brightest.
The last
And
week the lights was bright as fuck, and they showed the fuck up and showed out. It was
yeah,
a
but I
good
mean,
game.
lights get. I mean, and then they probably riding the high, and they think they
The
shit
shit
don't
don't
stink.
stink.
Yeah, probably
That's
think they
what
shit don't stink.
everybody. This is going to be a good game. The 49ers have the Cardinals, which should be a wash for them. But what the question I want to ask you is which team has the most Super Bowl or bust pressure? Is it the 49ers? Is it the Eagles? Or is it the Cowboys?
Cowboys. Come
And
on.
why?
Cowboys Super Bowl or bust every year. Like, it don't matter what it don't if it's not the Super Bowl, it's a bust. So
They
I
haven't even been close for years, and the
I know.
49ers and
It's
the
still
Cow
Super
and
Bowl or
the
bust.
Eagles have been
It's still
these
Super
last
Bowl.
3 years.
Yeah. Um Nobody expects the 49ers to be as good as they are. And nobody expects them to continue to win, but they are. They're winning. And because Mike McDaniels and a lot of his staff is from that organization, I know the culture that they create. I know the offense that they create. I know, and it's such a winning formula. People, Kyle Shanahan, Mike Shanahan deserves so much props and respect for his coaching tree and what he's built in the NFL. He really should be in the Hall of Fame. And if you just look at the guys who are having success in the NFL right now, a lot of them are under the Mike Shanahan tree, and so I just think that is a football style that is built to last and it's built to win in December. And so I'm riding the 49ers all the way to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they scare me shit.
Yeah.
Cause I'm a Rams fan. We fighting right now, but we ain't gonna do nothing. But I have a lot of friends that are 49ers fans, so I'm kind of happy for them that their team looks like they on to something right
Look
now.
look at that offensive line. Look at that defense. Look how physical they are. They're in the moment. They're not worried about next off season, and they go out and they trade for the guy from
McCaffrey.
no, not that's 2 years ago. They traded for a
Oh,
pass rusher this offseason. This trade deadline from Washington. I can't remember the kid's name. Um, damn. Anyway, it don't matter. But they're just living in the moment, and I think if they're healthy and they have Trent Williams healthy, because a lot of people don't realize he wasn't healthy for the last year's playoff run. If they have Trent Williams healthy, and that's the best offensive lineman in the NFL, and McCaffrey's healthy, they're going to be mowing people down in terms of
yeah.
the style that they play in December when everybody's on fumes. So I'm picking the 49ers. They're going to have first round bye. They're going to have home field advantage, and they're going to take care of business and get to the Super Bowl.
Hmm. On the AFC side, everybody's now that we see the Chiefs are falling apart, Burrow's out of there, the Bills ain't doing shit, and the Dolphins is just
Don't sleep on the
dolphining.
Bills now.
The Bill they haven't been doing shit, and the Dolphins are dolphining. The Ravens really look like the team to beat. However, Joe Flacco has got the Cleveland Browns in contention to win the division. Have you looked at the remaining schedule of these two teams?
I have not actually.
Okay, well, I have. Let me give you a little information, Omar. The Browns have this week the Bears, the Texans,
Okay.
the Jets,
Oof.
and the Bengals
Oh,
to end
Browns?
the season. Yes.
They got
And
layups. Okay.
they got layups. And the Ravens have the Jags, the 49ers,
Oh,
the Dolphins,
okay.
and the Steelers.
Okay. Yeah.
That could really
But the
switch.
Ravens are playing for the #1 seed, and the style that
They have to win the
they-
division. They can lose the division, Omar. If the Browns win out and the Ravens lose two of these games, especially AFC games, or three, the Browns can win the division.
okay.
And here's an incentive. So Flacco was on
Hold on. If the Ravens win, let's say they win 2, the Browns have to win how many? 4?
three. All
3?
four. The Browns have to win all four. Because they're
Yeah,
2 games
Browns ain't winning
behind.
all 4 with
You
Flacco.
don't think so?
Mm-mm.
Well,
It's Flacco. Come on.
it don't matter. It don't matter. The schedule is not tough.
It's not. But
Is Joe
Mike
Flacco
Tomlin,
in his day right now? All he needs to do is be a game manager, and they can win those games. Okay, they have signed him to a $75,000 contract per game, but $4 million in incentives, 250,000 if he makes the playoffs. If he wins the first round, 500,000.
okay.
If he wins the second round, $1 million to the AFC Championship. If he wins the Super Bowl, $2 million. Now I'm not putting them in the Super Bowl, but if you see that, is that not motivation? Honestly,
Yeah, I mean, he can resurrect his career apparently.
the Browns have the #1 defense in the NFL. All they was really needing was a quarterback. They have a great offense also. Anything's possible.
Listen, Joe Flacco had I have a feeling it's much like Cam Newton when he came back for Carolina and there was like a little spark and then
You
the
think it's gonna fizzle out?
yeah, I think it'll fizzle
Yeah,
out.
but there's 4 layups coming his way.
I
All he
mean,
got to do is not get in the way. Just do
layup.
the dink and dunk. Do the Ryan Tannehill all the way down the damn field.
See, but that's the thing. When you really study Joe Flacco and understand I was a big Joe Flacco fan from when
Oh,
he was drafted in
he was that
2000.
dude.
Yeah. Um, right now he's big player check down. That's all Joe Flacco do.
That's all you got to do.
Like
These are layups. You don't got to go crazy. Don't go crazy. Don't go crazy. Just win, baby. Let the defense help you. That's it. This is possible. It kind of freaked me out when I looked into this. I was like, whoa,
not a chance.
not a chance.
Ravens
Not
gonna take care
happening.
of business. Not happening. Ravens
I'm
gonna take
hoping
care
you're
of business.
right.
I think the Ravens are the #1 seed. I think the Ravens are the #1 seed.
If they don't win
gotta,
this, if they don't win this division, they're not. Did you want me to run the schedule by you again?
please give it to me again.
Okay. Ravens schedule this week, Jaguars.
Okay.
#1 in their division.
Jaguars.
#1 in their
Jaguars.
division. Not
Fugazi.
no punks.
They
Not no
Fugazi
punks.
though. They Fugazi
They
though.
not no punks though.
Hold
You're
on.
gonna
They
have
don't
to
even,
come get it
okay.
in Jacksonville. You got to come get it. Okay.
Okay.
The 49ers in Levi.
Taking an L on that. Go ahead.
Okay. The Dolphins at home.
They got that.
They got that.
They got that.
Steelers at home also.
Is Mike Tomlin playing for a winning season or is he
Always.
Yeah, okay.
That's a
Yeah.
fight.
They don't have a quarterback.
They got 2 fights, technically 3 fights. I'm mad that you just gave up on the Dolphins like that.
I mean, no,
They got 3 fights.
when you know
and
the
an L.
style, I know the style of team that gives Miami problems. And when you play that Debo style, where you in somebody's face and you physical and you punch them in the mouth first, they don't respond well to that. And that's Baltimore always.
Oh God. Okay. You would know better than anybody else.
That's Baltimore always. That's Debo right there. They gonna walk on the block and they ain't gonna say nothing. They just gonna
some of Debo.
they just gonna stow you. And Miami does not respond well to that.
Well, okay. I feel you. We're gonna get out of here, but before we end this, I gotta talk about the Jags executive, Amit Patel. Did you hear about this guy? Amit Patel was an executive for the Jaguars who happened to have a gambling addiction.
I heard about him.
And gambled $22 million from the organization and is now facing jail time.
Did they arrest him finally?
Yes. Well, he bailed. His bail was set at $10,000. And here's what pisses me off. Okay. Only reason I'm even bringing this up is the front office people of the Jaguars were like, well, having a gambling addiction is kind of like having, a drug problem. It's the same dopamine as the high you get. And so we're gonna pray that he does the right things and he's in rehab and he gets his life together. And to me, that's bullshit, because when have you ever seen a $22 million drug deal with somebody get a $10,000 bill? When, Omar?
Not
Traffic
yet.
22 million in dope and see if you're gonna get a $10,000 bill. That's some bullshit. They slapping this man on the wrist for $22 million. And he better do 30 years. I don't give a shit. He better get 30 years. He better get some time.
But if you steal $22 million from, it doesn't matter how much you stole from your company. I mean, that's
It's
still
criminal.
It's still white collar crime, though.
It's criminal.
Yeah.
Lock him up. And guess what the motherfucker had to say at the end of it?
What?
I'm gonna pay y'all back.
Because I'm gonna gamble some more and I'm gonna win.
Somebody give me a loan. Can somebody run me a loan real quick? I'm gonna shake the dice and get this 22 million back. I'm feeling, baby. I'm feeling. Idiot. Oh my God, Omar, did you have fun?
I did. I'm glad that we reunited. I love you. You like my big sister.
It was good seeing you at Vegan Fest. We got to hang out more often.
Absolutely, we do.
I know you got a lot going on. It's football season and all that shit.
Oh, but football season is over real soon. So
why are you saying that? We going to the Super Bowl, Omar?
Yeah, I mean, Super Bowl's 1 month. We got the whole
February.
Yeah, we got the whole off season to run these streets, Miko. Whole off season.
I'm shooting my TV series.
Huh?
I'm shooting my TV series in the off season.
Really? In LA?
In LA.
Okay.
We'll get together though.
Yes, I'm gonna come out there and see you too.
For sure. I love you.
I love you too. I ain't got shit else to do.
I'm gonna try to catch a Dolphins game too. I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna try to catch a game.
All right.
That was episode 17 with my ex-husband, radio husband, Omar Kelly. If you like what you saw, you like what you heard, make sure you click the link, subscribe, like, comment, pass my link around, so show your girl some love. Peace.